Hello and welcome along. We have moved across into December here on Haut-Beyleron, and I have gone through and I've actually completed the other cultivating contracts we had. So we're ready to return our John Deere tractor now. So let's pop into here and into our contracts, and yeah, we got two there. There's one more we could take, but to be honest, we've got far more lucrative contracts that we can take today. So we're going to collect on field 43 and then field 41, 42, which is the one we hired the tractor for. So that only made 643, but that's fine. And that is all good. Our tractor is gone and we're back down at the shop here. So, we're into December. There is still nothing for us to do on our farm. So, let's have a look here and see what we've got in the contracts. And today, it's very much looking like a ploughing contract is going to be what we want to do. So, same thing as we did last time. We want to look for a low paying contract to borrow the tractor off. This T7 here... This T7 HD with this plough for 410. A lot of these ploughing contracts use a similar setup to this. And it looks like 3,600, yeah, is the lowest contract that uses this. So we'll borrow the items for this. And then we're going to take on each of these contracts one at a time. So the highest paying contract is this one, uses the same plough, different tractor, but that's fine. And yeah, we can take on this and 10,000 for this. And look how much we've saved with this. So we will... Now I just want to double check something. I have borrowed the items. I had a horrible feeling for a moment. So we're just going to accept the contract on this one. And then head out with this and get this done. So yeah, we have a gorgeous New Holland T7 275 for this job. It's probably a little less powerful than maybe some of the T7s on the others, but it is enough. Now, we should be able to get GPS on this, and I don't know if maybe I don't have GPS enabled on this game save. I thought I did. Let's just pop in here and take a look at a tractor. Yeah, I don't have GPS enabled on this save. So I must remember to do that before we go forwards, because that is going to make a big difference to doing things like contracts in future. Today, we will continue without it. Plowing with this shouldn't be too difficult. So let's grab this and hook this up. Now our greenhouse has been producing some equipment, or been producing some fruit, which is good. We're building up some stuff with that. We don't really have much with the chickens at the moment, but they are doing okay. What are our two fields? 14 and 22. The one we want to do is 22. That is right up the top, not far from our farm. So we'll spin this round and we're gonna take this tractor and head up there. Interesting thing in the middle of this wheel. Wow, this is the first time I've been in this T7. Putting that information block in the middle of that wheel is very, very strange. I've never seen that in a tractor before. Yeah, it's the first time, as I said, first time I've had a T7 HD since FS22's launch. And first time I've ever come across that. That is a little bit weird to me. Don't know if it's an option in the shop. I just want to have a quick look at that. So that's the T8, which means the T7 must be in the medium tractor section. Yeah, T7 HD. No, it is. It is something that is just on there. That's really interesting. And very, very odd. But we are going to get this field plowed now, so we'll get ourselves lined up on the edge like so. Plonk it on here. Down we go. And we've got a nice big plough on the back of here. So hopefully this is something that is not going to take us too long to get done. And should be a fairly nice and easy 10 grand in our pockets. We're making more money from 2 days of contract so far than I think we've made all year on our farm. One question you might have with how I'm approaching these ploughing contracts today is, why have I only selected 2 contracts? The one where I'm getting the equipment from and the one that I'm doing first. And this is mainly because these are ploughing contracts. They take time, they are worth a lot of money, but yeah, they are time consuming, and so it's likely with this being a 10,000 euro contract that it may be that we can't get another one done today. So I want to try and work out, with the amount of time we've got and the amount of effort this takes, exactly how much we're going to be able to get done today. If we get a single 10,000 euro contract done today, that would be great. You know, that in itself is good. But if we can get more than one done, that would be even better. And this is the thing. I want to get us to a stage now where we can get a few contracts done. We can earn some extra money here going into December. But we are in December, so it's a case of really looking to be able to skip forward a little bit. And we need a little bit of money in the bank in order to do that. We're going to have some costs associated with doing that. It's going to cost us a little bit in loan payments. It's going to cost us a little bit in upkeep of the farm. And we want to make sure we're good. What we'll probably be doing next video is picking up and making sure that we have all of our fruits and everything sold over the winter. So we know we've got 3 pallets of fruit. We can't pick them up, so we're going to have to front loader them into our truck, and they're going to weigh our truck down a fair amount as well. So it might be a couple of journeys, or if we're lucky, sitting in the shop on sale will be something we can use, which is not the case. Yeah, there's not really anything there for us to use, so I would like to get the trailer that would allow us to transport them, but we don't really have the cash to do that at the moment. I don't think... How much is that car trailer? So it's under miscellaneous. Oh, it's 12,000. We actually do. So we might buy one of those, having completed these contracts, so that we can easily load up our fruits and get them transported. And in fact, transport more at once, because it would make more sense to do that. So I'm going to give it a chance to maybe turn up in the shop in a sale. That would be really helpful to us. But I think next time we are going to have to, before we return from the shop with our truck, pick that up and get using that, because it's going to be a much more efficient way for us to do our to transport our fruits, to get them sold, and makes a lot of sense doing it that way as well. This tractor is cutting through this field, well, with this plough really nicely. I'm trying to keep my, well, the plough or the furrow side tire in that first furrow. It's helping to keep a nice straight cut on this. And yeah, it's working through the field pretty nicely. I do love this animation of the turf turning over. It's a little bit difficult to see in this shadow. Let's see if I can... Yeah, I think we need to demonstrate it a little bit when we turn the other direction and don't have the whole thing in shadow in the shadow of the tractor. But it is such a nice animation. It looks really, really cool. And the whole ploughing experience in FS22 is improved. In fact, I'd go as far as saying that I really love the whole field preparation side of FS22. There's so much more balance to it. The choices you make when you're preparing your fields, whether that is ploughing or cultivating or power harrowing or subsoiling, all of them have a different effect on the field further down. So, for example, as we discussed in this series before, ploughing prevents weed growth. So if you plough your fields rather than cultivate them, you end up with no weeds in your crops. However, what you do get is what we're seeing at the moment, which is a lot of large stones up. So your trade-off for getting no weeds is that you have to do stone collection. And there's lots of little bits and pieces like that. Lots of choices that you make really kind of sets up your farm and says, right, okay, if I'm not going to have any weeds, I don't need a weeder on the farm, and I don't need a sprayer on the farm maybe, but I am going to need a rock picker, because every time I plough my field, I'm going to have to go across my field and pick up all the rocks on it. And it's just a really good setup to have you make choices, and there's a whole time versus effort aspect to it. Ploughing is more time consuming, but again, you don't have to deal with the weeds later on, but you can make some money from the rocks on it. And it's all that kind of thing. If you're gonna be doing a lot of liming, maybe ploughing's a good idea then, because you can get a production facility that creates lime from rocks, and you're then in a position where you're not spending any money on lime. It's a lot of choices, and there's no right way to go about it. The only thing I would say is, if you can avoid spraying herbicides to get rid of weeds, avoid spraying herbicide to get rid of weeds. You lose so much yield potential doing it that way. It's just past midday, and I don't think we're more than about 20-25% through this field. No, in fact, we've not even reached 20% of the way through this field yet. This is why I only picked up this contract along with the one to get the equipment on, because this is one of those contracts that is going to take all day. And this is the thing about ploughing. Ploughing is great, and it's nice and relaxing, and I really love it, but it is time consuming. It is so time consuming, and a really relaxing thing to do. That's why I love it. But it's to do a 10,000 euro contract is going to take all day to do, because of that. And I don't have a problem with that. I'm 10,000 euros is still a huge amount of money. I'm wondering if there's a way of doing multiple smaller contracts that make more money. I don't think they do. I think you end up spending more time, because it doesn't quite work out that way. And doing the one big contract just brings in a heckload more money. But it's a good way to earn the money, and when you've got a farm like we have, where we're doing start from scratch, contracts are always going to be a big part of that. You can't raise money and get extra cash on your farm to establish it without either borrowing, which we've done a fair amount of, or doing contracts. And in the moment you get spare time is the moment you start rattling through the contracts and getting as much money in from them as possible, because that is the only way to keep your farm going and to expand it. And when your farm's small and you don't have a lot to do on it, you might as well earn the extra money elsewhere. An hour later, and we've added about another 5 to 6%. Yeah, we're now 25% of the way through this. Oh, I love this. It is time consuming, but it is so relaxing. And if you get your angle and your line and everything right, it is so satisfying to get these nice straight ploughing furrows in. But yeah, it has gone 1 in the afternoon here in game, and we are only 25% of the way through this field. There's quite a way to go yet. I have a theory on how we can speed things up here. We have a lot of ploughing contracts available to us. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to hire a worker. We will send this hired worker off doing this field here. And hopefully it's not going to cost us too much. Meanwhile, I'm going to head back into the ploughing contracts here. And we're going to find the next cheapest ploughing contract that gives us the same equipment that we've got now. I think we're looking probably at this one here. 633 euros. And yeah. So we're going to borrow the items for field 21 as well. Head down to the shop here. And oh wow, we have got a very beautiful black Deutz Fahr now. But what we can do is start the field from the other end and hook it all up and get the field done twice as fast as a result, for not a huge amount of extra cost. Also means that we can get more ploughing contracts done at the same time. So let's get actually straight onto this plough. There we go. And that should mean that we get a nice... I don't think we've hooked up the cables. Is that all hooked up? Yeah, that's all hooked up. So let's fold this up. And we can get this up to the field now as well. I really like that it's got this... that we've got the black version of this. That's so nice. Oh, that has not, though, folded up my plough transport. Let's actually do that properly and get this tractor up to the field as well. So this is going to cut into our profits a little bit. We aren't going to make quite so much off this contract as we were originally looking to make, but what we will be doing is getting this contract done twice as fast. Now I need to make sure that I am ploughing this in the same direction, which means I've actually got to go and start up the top here somewhere. And what I'll do is I'll bring this in and we'll start about here-ish, doing the same direction as the other tractor's going. Like so. Down we go. And away we go. Trying to keep it as straight as we possibly can. And yeah, that way we can get 2 tractors going on this job and get it done in half the time, meaning we should get this easily completed today now. And the other thing is, if we wanted to, we could just cancel the other 2 contracts. Not going to make the farmers overly happy doing that, you know, using their equipment on something else and then cancelling the contract we've got with them. But we can just go and blast those 2 contracts out as well, actually. And it would take us no time to get it done. But 2 tractors on here is going to make this so much faster. Now we've got 2 tractors on this, we have sped things up considerably. We are up to 50% of the way through this contract. Much better way to do this. We're not spending a massive amount. I'm going to be really intrigued to see what, at the end of today, is our hired worker cost. I don't think it's going to be that massive, especially in the grand scheme of getting a 10,000 euro contract completed. And it's just going to double the speed at which we can get through contracts like this, which is absolutely brilliant. I'm loving this. This works well. I think contracting, actually, on Start From Scratch, if you're not looking necessarily to start your own farm straight up for the first year, contracting, really great way to get yourself a decent amount of money early on, especially using the contract equipment in this way. It's making a big difference to how we're getting through this field, as I said. We're doubling the speed at which we're doing it. Well, not quite doubling it, because I'm turning around faster than the hired worker is. Although I am missing a little bit, which I want to avoid doing. So we'll just reverse this up. Yeah, so I'm able to turn around a little bit faster than the hired worker is. But I tend to leave gaps every so often that I have to correct like this. So it probably evens out a little bit. Having GPS on here, GPS is one of those things which I'm going to go away straight after recording this and go and add into this save, because yeah, it would make this job so much easier if I had GPS running on this tractor compared to how it is at the moment. Having to eyeball it all and keep an eye on the compass all the time and everything can be a little bit detailed. So there we go. An hour's worth of wage payment is 119. So it might cost us maybe €1,000 to get this field done with a hired worker. That's not great. I mean, it's going to reduce the overall profit we make on this to €9,000, but we are still going to get it completed fairly quickly, which is brilliant. You know, that means we get it done in a day rather than 2, and it comes back to this whole thing of time versus money. You spend more money, then you're going to get it done quicker. You take a little more time, and you are going to get it done it's slower, but you're going to make more money doing it. And yeah, Farm Sim very much is about managing those two things and making sure that they are kept in balance as much as possible. 5 p.m. The sun is setting and the snow has started to fall here on Haut-Beyleron. We've got our 2 tractors still going though, and going strong, and should definitely get this contract finished today, which is brilliant. I will need to go and do another contract with these, I think, just to make sure that we cover our expenses and make sure that we make our money back for this. Whatever contract we do is going to be quicker, because obviously we've got 2 tractors to work on it. There is a €9,000 contract, which I would expect to take the same amount of time. So we might have a look at that. But all in all, it's not been too bad. We are we are ploughing in the snow and ploughing ahead as a result. And where are we? We are at 78%. So yeah, it is definitely much quicker doing it this way. And our 2 tractors are working well in tandem. I'd love to do them on the same row, a little bit like one of the pictures I'm considering for the thumbnail. We've got the 2 tractors working very closely together. I would love it if we could get them working like that across this field. But I did try it a couple of times, and the hired worker just throws an absolute fit if you're working on the next row it wants to work on. So I have to do it with this gap like this. And it's not massively realistic, because I think it would create a problem when when the gap eventually got closed. But yeah, it's working for us on here with the hired worker and keeping everything flowing. So yeah, won't be long now until we get this finished, and it'll be interesting to see if we get settled snow on this newly ploughed ground. I think the New Holland is on its final row there. We are about 97, 98% of the way through this. The snowstorm, the clouds are just making it so dark. You can see the sunset behind us, and I love the view of that tractor heading over the top of the hill there. In the snow, it's just the most incredible view. But yeah, we are really close to completing this now. Down we go. I'm fully expecting that New Holland to be finished when it reaches the end there. There we go. That AI worker has finished his task. 99%. So yeah, this row should finish it off. I'm convinced. I've seen a lot of people complaining about the cost of using hired workers. I don't think hired workers are farmhands. I think hired workers are contractors, basically. Right, that is this contract and this field finished. Where's my tractor? There it is. So I'm just gonna park this up here. Well, oh, no. Start the engine. There we go. Like so, and fold these up. These have been pretty good. I'm very, very pleased with this setup. That is a field of very dead. Actually, just put it down. There we go. That's that one done. And then this one. Very happy with this. It has been a very good and very useful contract. So that is our two tractors. Let's have a look here. Completed 10,539. Collect that. And let's just see in here. How much did that cost us when hired workers in December? There we go. Wage payment 699. So yeah, we spent less than €1,000 on that. That worked really, really well for us. So yeah, I think we may do a little more ploughing contract with these two tractors going into the next day. For now, though, we're going to leave this here. So all that remains is for me to say thank you for watching. I hope you have enjoyed this video. Please give it a like, drop us a comment, and give it a share. And for all the latest videos from Virtual Farmer, please subscribe to the channel, ring that bell, and I will see you next time. Goodbye.